You've gone like 7 points behind against both Waterford and Cork recently, but turned them around and won in very impressive fashion. Is there anything you put that down to?
I suppose we scored more than them for the rest of the game. Uh, I don't know, Shane. I don't know. Like, yeah, we got kind of slow starts, I suppose, in the two games. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know what it is. But at the end of the day, I suppose you can once you finish strong and you're leading at the end, it doesn't really matter how much you're behind in any game, I suppose, as long as you get the result at the end of the day. But yeah, it's probably something we have to look into and try and get right, and not make life hard for ourselves. Hopefully we can work on that in the next few weeks and get our start a bit more up to scratch and not go behind by, what was it, 7 points in those games, because I think someday you're not going to be able to regather that 7 point deficit, and then you're probably out of championship or something.
Yeah, as John said earlier, you seem to be absolutely flying in the league this year. Is there anything you put that down to? I mean, I know you've kind of said before, and I've interviewed you before, and you talked about kind of injuries and just wondering how long more you play on for, but like you seem to be absolutely flying.
Yeah, I don't know about flying now, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. Like, there's a lot of competition for place, as I was saying earlier on, and when there's lads pushing each other on, it pushes everybody on a bit more. I've often heard before that, like, if the guy behind you isn't pushing you on, how are you going to get better? So if there's somebody, you often see it with, maybe you have three goalies on a panel. If number three in the pecking order isn't pushing number two, how is number one going to get any better by number two not pushing him on? Do you know what I mean? So I think this year we've used a lot of players in the championship, and there's a lot of competition for places, so everybody is trying to make their place this year.
And from your own point of view, like, you've played midfield with Portumna, won a Club All-Ireland in that position there a few years back. Are you at a stage where you're mature enough to not really, in terms of as a player, that you don't really mind too much where you're playing, you just go out and do your job?
Yeah, exactly. It's as long as I'm kind of contributing in some way, and in a positive way, to the game and to the lads, and as I said, making lads better for it. I don't mind where I play. If they want me cornerback, I don't know if I do a good job there, but you nearly stick in there if you could, So yeah, I'm used to kind of midfield with the club over the last number of years. So I don't mind it. It's nice out there, yeah.
Yeah, and a final one for me then. Last year, you lost the Leinster final and then pushed Limerick pretty close, only losing by 3 for a finish. You look like a team, if you can judge it based on league, that's improving again this year. You mustn't feel like you're far off the pace at all in terms of challenging.
Yeah, like, you'd like to think you're not too far off, but like, that's why you play. You want to challenge the top teams. If I don't think any player will honestly believe that they don't have a chance. Do you know what I mean? No matter where you're from. So yeah, that's the goal at the end of the year. Everybody's goal is to try and to win something. So that's why you play. You don't play just to be there and be a partake in stuff. You play to win. So yeah. Yeah, that's basically it.
Join the Our Game Supporters Club at Patreon for €5 per month to get audio podcasts of the Hurling and Football Show and much more exclusive material.